Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack. So this is gonna be a very interesting video to make because I'm pretty sure Blizzard just canceled McCree. In case you guys don't know what's going on, Blizzard has made the announcement to change our favorite Western cowboy's name in Overwatch to, I don't know, they haven't made the announcement yet. We don't know if it's going to be named Shooty Shooty McBang Bang. We don't know if it's going to be named Joey McCree. We don't know if it's going to be named Bob. Like, who knows what they're going to change McCree's name to? Now, the first thing you might be wondering is why? Why are they changing Jesse McCree's name in Overwatch? And in case you guys don't know, Jesse McCree, the cowboy video game character's name, was inspired from a real-life employee at Blizzard, Jesse McCree. And Jesse McCree, the employee, was a part of the Bill Cosby suite scandal that was just one of many instances of sexual harassment going on at Blizzard. So when Blizzard's lawsuit was coming to light, there were actually quite a few people pleading to Blizzard saying that they should change the name of Jesse McCree because of the inspiration of his name. This horrible employee at Blizzard that has no place to be in a video game that is built around the idea of everybody working together, making the world a better place, and fighting for what is right. So the idea of it is awesome, you know, changing the name of a character that was inspired from a horrible person. But I don't want to speak on behalf of everybody else. I actually want to know your guys' thoughts on the name changing of Jesse McCree. And I don't think this is like a possibility or it's still in the works. No, it seems like the Overwatch team is pretty adamant about changing Jesse McCree's name to, I'm not sure. They haven't decided on the name or decided when they were gonna do it. But if I can predict what Blizzard is gonna do without even knowing what the name is gonna be, what I'm thinking is gonna happen is that they're just gonna change Jesse McCree's first name rather than his whole entire name. So for an example, they can name him Joey McCree, David McCree, Big Daddy Schlong Dong Daddy McCree, but still keeping the last name McCree because, well, that's his name. His name isn't Jesse McCree, even though that is his official birth name, but his real identity is McCree. So by changing his first name to something else, not only do you achieve the goal of moving away from the horrible employee, but you get to still keep McCree's identity as McCree because, well, that's what he's known for, is his name McCree. Plus, from a marketing's perspective, I think it would be pretty rash to change his first and his last name when you have so much merch, so much brand awareness for this cowboy that if you change his last name to something completely different, you kind of lose all that, you know? And plus, people are still gonna call him McCree anyway, and if anything, you're just drawing more attention to the horrible employee if you change his first and his last name, because people would be wondering, wait, I thought this guy's name was McCree. Why is he named Shepard? Oh, well, because there was this horrible employee at Blizzard that was named Jesse McCree, and they had to change his name because he raped a lot of women at Blizzard. You know, it just draws more negative attention than it does good. But even then, I still want you to comment down below what you think about Jesse McCree's name being changed as a whole. Whether you think it's going to be his first and or last name, just I want to know. But even without you guys commenting, I feel like I have a good idea of what the community feels about the name change of Jesse McCree, and it seems like a lot of people are upset with Blizzard's and the Overwatch team's decision to change Jesse McCree's name, and not because of what you think. While yes, he is a beloved cowboy, and while we love his name, they're upset with the idea that this isn't what we're really calling for. This isn't what we've expected from Blizzard. This definitely feels like just performative activism and is trying to stray away from what really matters at Blizzard, which is the targeting demographic of women and marginalized groups at the offices. Now, to give Blizzard and the Overwatch team credit, even though they really don't deserve it at this point, I do recognize that any small change is welcome. The way that I see this is kind of like how people tear down Confederate statues in southern states. Like, yes, it's really cool that you tear down the statue. That doesn't mean it fixes racism. The same thing can be said with changing Jesse McCree's name. Just because you change a cowboy video game character's name does not fix the sexism and sexual harassment going on at Blizzard. And that's what people are most upset about. Plus, people are also just upset because they're changing a beloved video game character's name. But that part shouldn't really matter, because what people should be spending their energy on is the real issue here. And that's not what Blizzard, or at least the Overwatch team, is doing. And I feel like people have a bigger expectation of the Overwatch team. Maybe not now, but definitely a couple of years ago, because Overwatch was built on the idea of diversity and equality. You know, we have so many characters from different parts of the world, from China to Japan to London to India to the United States to South America, and everyone seems like they're welcome in at least their organization, whether it's Talon, Vishkar, Overwatch Team, or Blackwatch. Everybody is equal and welcome in doing their part. But it definitely just confuses a lot of people and gets them upset that a game built on justice, equality, fairness, and all this kind of good stuff isn't really being represented in real life. You know, we kind of saw that with the Pride event when Pride Month was going on, and a lot of people saw that Apex and Valorant was getting all this Pride content, and we wanted that in Overwatch because the cover art girl is gay, Soldier 76 is gay, and we have all these diverse characters in the LGBT community. Why don't we get some representation in the game? And the Pride content that we got after years of asking for Pride content was a rainbow flag player icon that wasn't even the updated Pride flag that was silently added into the game with no remarks from Blizzard. And like, listen, I get that people don't agree with the LGBT community because of religious purposes or because you're a bigot. I don't really care. You guys know me. I'm a huge supporter of the LGBT community. So while you might not agree, which I will never agree with you disagreeing with the LGBT community, but even if you don't agree, you can at least agree that the leadership in the communication at Overwatch is very, very lackluster. And I think that's one of the biggest problems going on with Blizzard, is that they're not listening. They're not listening to their employees, and they're not listening to the community, and they're just not listening. They're tone deaf, and that's a huge issue, man. That's why when this announcement of changing Jesse McCREE'S name, it just seemed like, okay, what else are you doing? Like, this seemed like the first big announcement from the Overwatch team when it came to this lawsuit of the change that they're making. They didn't announce any change of their sexual harassment policies, or when it comes to women not getting fair promotion, or just being treated fairly, or marginalized groups also not being treated fairly. Their first bit of activism was, we are changing the old Western Cowboys name. Okay. And while I can at least see where they're coming from, it just doesn't make sense. Maybe it's because there wasn't any sexual harassing or unfair treatment going on at the Overwatch division, and this was their way of doing their part. But again, we want to assume that there was that going on. It's very tone deaf, and that's not okay. But what makes the situation even worse is that we want change overnight, but we want the actual things that matter to change overnight, not the Jesse McCREE change to happen overnight. And I think that's maybe why Blizzard made this announcement, because this is something that they have control over that can change tomorrow. It just takes a few codes to change the name of Jesse McCREE, and yes, you gotta get the voice actor, and admittedly, all the other voice actors come in and to talk about the new Cowboy's name. But when it comes to the change that they want overnight, people are asking for sexism, sexual harassment, and racism to stop overnight. It's like, hey, stop being racist. And it's like, okay. And they just do it in a way that isn't illegal, but the way that they can still be able to marginalize these groups of people. You know, while it's not excused behavior, I hope people understand that change like this just doesn't happen overnight, but where people like me can use my platform to try to inform and educate people on the struggles of women and the struggles of minority groups of people, talking about stuff like you shouldn't touch your girlfriend without her consent, even though she's your girlfriend, or you shouldn't make black stereotypical jokes to your black friend even though he's your friend. You know, even though they're close to you, it's still not okay to do. Like, these are big struggles that have been going on for not even just years at Blizzard, but centuries in the whole entire world. And luckily, day by day, people are educating themselves and learning about how they're privileged. I'm learning also myself of how, even though, yes, I'm Mexican, how I'm white presenting and how I get white privileged every single day of my life, and how I'll never have to experience what someone who is Mexican presenting will have to experience. It's just one of those things that over time change will come. People are putting a lot of pressure on Blizzard, but I feel like people are putting pressure on Blizzard and the Overwatch team because they put these values on a pedestal, literally on the orc statue in front of their offices, and are proud of it, but their actions say otherwise. And this Jesse McCREE name change, you know, it's a tiny step, but I feel like they're just so behind on the change that should have been called for months ago that this just seems like another slap in the face to the Overwatch community. Hopefully some real change will come. I don't know what that'll be. I really do not know. Like, yes, I would love to say, oh, people should just stop being racist and sexist, but it's much more on a micro scale that they gotta fix when it's not really illegal to do all what they've been doing on the micro scale. It's just unethical, and unethical does not equal illegal. But hopefully Blizzard would put their words where their mouth is and actually perform what they project, what they put on that orc statue. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think about the Jesse McCree name change and what you think about all this, because for me, you can tell I'm lost by the way that I'm stuttering, because this isn't an easy fix, and I'm trying to do my part in educating the younger crowd the best that I can, while also trying to entertain them the best that I can, because that's always been the goal of my channel. But I feel like when it comes to this kind of stuff, I need to at least speak on what I view the situation on. But anyway, guys, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch videos to come, and bye.